Good evening, everybody. Last time I attended a Ross Ashmore painting exhibition was when I filmed the opening by my predecessor, Chairman Kamal Butt. Since that time, Ross and I have become friends. So it gives me great pleasure in welcoming him tonight to the opening of his latest exhibition of underground art, helping to celebrate the 150 years of the London Underground. His distinctive style is called heavy impasto. Creating an impasto painting requires the use of a large quantity of paint, and you can see that in his paintings. I have now seen Ross in action, or should I say acton, where I actually filmed him painting and exhibiting in the London Underground Acton Works Open Day last Friday. What more can I say? Even more masterpieces by our own famous painter, Ross Ashmore. Enjoy.
Thank you. I just want to say, obviously, thank you very much for all coming. For me, this is what it's about. The pleasure of doing the painting is something that I enjoy doing it, and I think you have to if you're going to paint all 267 stations that there are. But the most important thing for me is actually letting the people kind of see the work. I mean, first of all, from the point of view of art, I like to be able to promote art where I can to the sort of general public, because actually I think people it's too easy now to sort of sit in front of the TV and to have things that don't really, sort of challenge you in any way. I don't want to feel that the paintings I do are challenging. I think they're different, and I think that's something that I think people do, they're interested in, because they see this kind of weird and wacky kind of way of painting. But at the same time also, I'm showing my interest, which is obviously the history, the environment where we live, the sort of social documentary that I believe hopefully is promoted in the paintings, and also the fantastic architecture that I'm looking at the paintings, because I just love the actual architecture of what we have around us in London and the sort of suburbs, and where we're living also in Riversworth around here too. How amazing for me to be able to just be part of this London Underground system. Because for me, by painting what I've done, and I've finished now, just in case anybody doesn't know, I've done all 267, I finished in June. By painting them, I've been able to get to know so many different people, and I've really, really been feel privileged. But first of all, people have bothered to want to come along like you have this evening. I would really feel very pleased and proud of the fact you've been able to do that. But I also feel privileged to some of the people I've actually met along that journey, because that for me is probably I suppose I was thinking about what I was going to say before this evening, and I thought to myself, actually, what I want to say is a thank you to all those people here, and all those people also that I've met that have enriched my life as well. That have actually given me something to talk about, something to share. And I'm thinking about the fact that I've talked to kind of ordinary everyday people who are bus drivers, train drivers, surveyors, architects. I've talked to businessmen, I've talked to mums with toddlers, I've talked to kids from the college, the plumbers, the training electricians. I've talked to the people on the newsstands, and all the people you're seeing in these pictures that I'm looking at. Actually, I've got a story about all of them, and that has enriched my life, and I find that absolutely fascinating that I've been able to do that. Also, which I have to say is remarkable, is the fact that the stimulation that this is created from the point of view of the interest from radio, has been a little bit on TV, and just generally, and there's people from South Korea, as Les will know, have come out especially to film me in Riversworth, which is a bit weird, because South Korea is a long way away, and actually you think, well, why would they come? And the funny thing is, I'm going on slightly here, but the funniest thing is, when they came, when they phoned me up, they said, Ross, could we come to, and I said, yes, of course you can, and come tomorrow. And they said, yeah, it's fine. I thought, well, I'm going to meet the people from South Korea that are coming to Rickmansworth. I thought, well, actually, this is quite an interesting PR exercise for Rickmansworth. So I phoned up our chairman, Les Mead, and I phoned him up at 7 o'clock in the morning, that morning, and I said, Mr. Mead, I called him Les, and I said, Les, because he's a good friend of mine, and I said, Les, I've got people from South Korea coming. I said, do you think you could pop along at 10:30 to come along and be part of that documentary with me, which they wanted to do? And he said, yes. It's like 7 o'clock. So he came up, they came and filmed me and they were in there, and Les came up into the studio and they met Les, and basically he stole the show. He stole the show. I mean, they were interviewing him, they were talking to him, they were saying, why are you doing this, why are you doing that? And then later on in the afternoon, they said, we're so pleased that we met the chairman. He said, can we come tomorrow and do an interview of him? Okay, fine, okay. And they actually said, could we come and interview him and his wife, Carol, who's here, can we come and interview them eating lunch?
Can't believe it, can you?
That was a really strange thing to do. So this crew, and they're charming people, and they came, because they're very polite, those South Koreans. Anyway, next thing is, do you need me anymore? No, we don't need you anymore. It's like, we'll take Les off on the train. And so anyway, he stole the show. So from the point of view of, how interesting to meet people from South Korea. There have been people from Poland who've come over and done a feature on it as well. And it's not because it's me, it's about the fact that the interest in what I've actually done. So, as I say, not me, the interest in the fact that all these lovely stations that we have around us. So kind of that brings me to that point where I can say, it is a big thank you to everybody that has really supported me. If this is being filmed, I just want to say, my Facebook friends as well, because actually, I don't know if anybody's on Facebook, but actually what a fantastic medium. I posted the fact that I was coming along this evening, just like an hour ago, so I'm going to Watesmeet tonight to go and sort of my preview. And then I just looked, just before I came, just gives me a bit of Dutch courage. There's a few friends on there who've posted about all the best, really, well done, but go for it and all that sort of stuff. And I think to myself, isn't it weird? Here I am, Facebook friends that are encouraging me to come along here. So thank you for all my Facebook friends, especially Gerard as well. Gerard is a crazy Frenchman that he's completely mad, and I went to visit him in Paris, and he showed me around Paris, and that was absolutely brilliant. So my world has got bigger. My world, I've been able to kind of meet people, share with people, fascinating people. I can't go into how many people that I've actually met as a result of doing my painting, getting out there, talking to people. And you coming here tonight have also, I can say thank you ever so much, because it means an awful lot to me the fact you're here. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoy the exhibition. And just by the way, just as a little aside, if anybody wants to know, the amount of paint it took to paint these paintings, estimated weight is 1/4 of a ton. That's just to do all of them. And the other statistic which I'll give you, which I think is quite interesting, is if you put each one of them end on end, they would reach the 72nd floor of the Shard. So I haven't tried it, but it's just basically a statistic. But so saying thanks ever so much, and thank you to the chairman, and thank you to everybody, and also the staff here at Watesmeet that created Artistsmeet, which is a really nice venue, and thank you to Rickmansworth. I've got Rickmansworth next month. This is changing. There's going to be Rickmansworth scenes because Les said to me, enough of the trains. Let's have some Rickmansworth paintings. So I have done some Rickmansworth painting. Because actually, Rickmansworth is a fantastic place. I'm not just saying that because I'm here. I really, really like it. It's a lovely place. And if you haven't been to the Aquadrome, then you're missing something. Okay? So thanks very much again.
Thank you. That was a much better speech than mine, wasn't it?